$7 million out of the contract. And now, as George Payton said, acquiring Teddy Bridgewater adds competition, experience, and a strong veteran presence to our quarterback locker room. Now, I want to get you guys' reaction to not just the trade, but something that Dan Orlovsky said on SportsCenter, because I found this interesting. The Broncos make a trade. They have Drew Lock, who they were supposedly they loved him up until last year. Teddy Bridgewater they make a trade for, but yet does that take them out of the quarterback market with the 9th overall pick?
I think it puts Drew Lock on notice. You know, the Denver Broncos are a playoff caliber football team with better quarterback play, and they have that now with Teddy Bridgewater. It is not debatable. Right now, today, Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Drew Lock. And so now Denver has the comfort of, okay, we've got a guy that we know can go play starting quarterback football. And if Drew Lock isn't our guy because of the struggles that he had in his first 2 years in the NFL, and their quarterback that they want in the draft slips just a little bit, they should 100% still go get that quarterback. If Justin Fields or Trey Lance starts to slip to 5 or 6 and Denver wants him, this trade has zero impact on him.
I think Dan is right there. Yeah, I think he's right as far as Two Gloves Teddy being better than Drew Lock. There's no question about that. We all know that. That's not that, it's like, okay, yes, he's better. That's why they went and got him.
He's had a better career.
And as far as them sitting where they're sitting, and all of a sudden, one of these top quarterbacks start to not necessarily slip, but the run doesn't go as anticipated, and they're sitting there and they're eyeballing one of them, they won't be the only team, though. There's going to be other teams that say, hey, what do you want to do, Atlanta? What do you want to do, Cincinnati? We'd love to get into that spot. They should make a run at going and get one of those quarterbacks to secure the future, because clearly if you got Teddy Bridgewater, you are already saying to yourself, yes, you say competition, but you already know that he's better than Drew Lock. You already done, essentially in your mind, push Drew Lock to number 2. And if you're pushing him to number 2 and you draft a guy, you're not drafting that quarterback to come and replace Teddy right now. You're drafting that quarterback to learn behind Teddy.
Right.
And now Drew Lock gets pushed basically to 3.
So you're saying Teddy Bridgewater is just buying you time. He's become a bridge quarterback in his career pretty much.
And man, Teddy Bridgewater is good.
Yes.
Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. He has this stuff that's on him that is all of a sudden like it's this weird feeling like he's a bad quarterback. But he's not. He is a guy, if you had, and Dan said it. Dan said, hey, they're a playoff caliber team with Teddy Bridgewater. If you took Teddy Bridgewater and you put him on the San Francisco 49ers, who I think, when fully healthy, is a Super Bowl contending team, Teddy Bridgewater would be a Super Bowl quarterback. If you took him and you plugged him into 22 or 21 other guys on the team that were Super Bowl caliber players, Teddy Bridgewater will plug in and you wouldn't miss a beat.
And they had countless games where they were just within, 4 or 5 points that they could have won. That could have been a
without Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly. That could have been a completely different season. On the flip side, for the Panthers, I would say this too. I know you have Sam Darnold. I know he's there. But I will also look for them to draft. If you can get a guy like Justin Fields, I would do it too. Sam Darnold was supposed to be the savior of New York.
There
exactly.
Right? That's really what it's about.
Sam Darnold was supposed to.
I wouldn't do that.
But why? Sam Darnold, what if Sam Darnold doesn't pan out?
I know.
If you're Carolina.
I know, but I just wouldn't. You're going to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't even know. I got to figure out the 5th-year option numbers because
they're different.
They're so different, right? Baker Mayfield's like $18.5 million, and then Lamar Jackson is like 20+ million. So I don't know how that works out. But you're picking up Sam's 5th-year option. You traded Sam. You essentially gave up, even though you gave up a handful of picks. When you put those handful of picks together, that's essentially a first-round pick because the New York Jets could take those 3 picks, package them up, and probably slide back into the late first round if that's something they wanted to do. Now you're telling me you should draft a quarterback that's sitting there when you just traded for a young one that's 24 years old. I think that's his age.
Sam's 5th year, I believe, is 18.8.
Okay, so
Is that what I'm reading here?
I don't understand how they get the calculations on
Yeah,
that.
well, it's
but-
the same as Baker's. Baker's is the 18-8 also.
Yeah, but
But-
Lamar's
but-
is higher.
I'm
I don't
looking
know
at
how
it.
that
let
is.
me ask you a question. What if you can't fix Sam? So doesn't it make sense to have somebody?
But I
that's
don't know if
young-
I could. I don't know if I could fix Sam to actually get him in. On the
But
in the books and
understood. But
underneath
if it's
the
about
center.
drafting best available talent, if Justin Fields is there and you like Justin Fields,
But what do I do if I fix Sam? Like, what if Sam takes them and win the division? They go.
well, I mean, this goes back to our same conversation we were having about Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. I mean, like, look, injuries happen, things happen within
yeah,
the
but
game.
I got a backup quarterback that I'm guaranteeing $30 million to, fully guaranteeing $30 million to. Like, what do I do? You got to remember, it's a numbers game too. So what do I do with a Trey Lance or Justin Fields sitting on my books at $30 million? Just led us to whatever, a division title, playoffs that shows promise. Like, what do I do now? Do I eventually move Sam and trade him again? I mean, I guess you
Yes,
can
you
do
do.
that. I mean, I guess you could trade Sam again after the season. After he shows you he's the guy, you can say, okay, we're going to now trade him for a first-round pick
I
to
mean,
somebody.
When if he shows you he's not the guy? When if he doesn't pan out?
Well, they have a decision to make on the 5th
I'm not
year.
the damn gentleman.
I know, but I'm talking
Evan
to you
did some
because
research for us, so to find out why there's a difference
Yes.
in the numbers.
So it's there's 4 categories based on the 5th-year option. One is basic, the other's playing time, then 1 Pro Bowl, and then more than 1 Pro Bowl. So because Lamar Jackson went to a Pro Bowl, he's at a higher number, 23.1 million. Sam and Baker have basically the same amount of playing time over their time, so they are at the same number.
Got it.
you
That's
go.
interesting that I didn't.
Sliding scale based on all the
that's so
different
weird,
performance
right?
bonus. Yeah, no, it is. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Got to take this call from Trevor in Utah, guys. Trevor?
Trevor Lawrence, you playing with us
Hey
now?
guys. So I just want to say thanks for a solid show. Listen to you guys every morning on my way into work.
Solid. That's all
I
you
just wanna
giving
say,
us?
I don't know what this dude from Queens is talking about. But you guys talk about Zach Wilson all the time. And so I feel like this guy is one of those guys like on Twitter. He's got a picture of the Jets or whatever his profile picture. It's not an actual picture of him. I feel like he's just a troll. Like
Probably.
he's that guy on social media to talk about, whatever it is, and it never makes sense. So I don't know what he was talking about. You guys talking about the Jets all the time, and Zach Wilson, and the history of the Jets, Sam Darnold, or whatever it be. So I just want to throw that out there.
Well, you're
You guys
in
are
Utah.
good. I apologize on his behalf.
Wow.
I like
I almost
that.
feel like
I
we
like
need
that.
a caller last man standing where like just callers have at it, that kind of thing. But Trevor's in Utah and he would know their next quarterback, Wilson, right? So, it's just funny that it would be from Utah. Anyways, let's go back to calls. 888-ESPN, 888-729-3776. I love when callers do that, though. Like, first of all, Michael from Queens is a big ESPN fan, so we love him for consuming the content, but it's just funny how people will fire back. Let's go to, Steve is in Philly on his Eagles. Steve, how are we feeling today?